31. Let's get going. Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Mirashan. I lead the growth team here at Implement AI. And we're going to basically spend the next 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, going through some demos, how we work, who our AI solution is for, how we're different, just things to kind of think about as you're going on this journey to probably add AI into your workforce. I think in 2026, most people are taking that challenge. So good on you for being here. If you have any questions at any point, put them in the chat. I won't answer them immediately unless it's technical difficulties, but I will get to all the questions at the end. Right, let me share my screen, make sure sound is on so we can listen to some of the demos. Perfect. All right, so we are Implement AI, and our strapline, our motto, the way that we built everything that we've built is grow your workforce, not your payroll. The team behind this is Piers Linney and Dr. Alex Shukla. Piers Linney, besides being on Dragon's Den and Undercover Boss and speaking all over the country and currently on a lot of the TV shows, speaking of AI, he's worked a lot with companies from SMEs to FTSE 100, helping them through transitions, both whenever the servers were going into the cloud and a few other things. He's managed channel for Microsoft for a lot of time, which is why we're partners with them. And then Dr. Alex Shukla, who started in dentistry, then immediately moved into dental tech because he saw there were so many problems within a lot of these industries that didn't adopt tech up front, and actually has been running automation courses, writing books, seminars, even before AI. So it's always been his dream and his goal to automate things that shouldn't take human time and human capacity. As everyone's aware, the world's changed and it's going to continue to change much faster, right? Costs of staffing and the quality of staffing is getting harder to reproduce, and that's affecting revenue. Your customers are expecting you to respond to a lead, to an email, to a call immediately. And it's just really hard to keep track and keep pace with that. And unfortunately, every time you miss a call, the service is inconsistent, your admin and your billing and your credit control is all automated. That leads to higher costs, lost revenue, and unsatisfied customers. So for that reason, we built an AI workforce. So don't think of our platform, our products necessarily as AI or AI agent. Think of them as digital workers. They would do exactly what a junior member of your team would do or you would do, but you shouldn't do because it's not the best use of your time. So we've built these teams that I want to go through to work together and to be fully customized, built by us so that they work for your company. We deploy them, fully trained from day one. They work 24/7, no devs or setup needed. Everything's from our side. So these are the different teams that we have. We have the sales and support team, which are both communications teams. They can do inbound and outbound phone calls, text messages, WhatsApp, email, Slack, chat on your website, however you communicate with your customers. Of course, their purpose is a little bit different. Maybe a sales agent is booking a consultation, reactivating a lead, things like that. A support agent is there 24/7, help desk, FAQ, whenever your customer needs you. Then we have the analyst agents, which are vital and probably the highest ROI agents, the ones that most people start with. So if you're recording your phone calls, which by the way, if you have phone calls, especially in large numbers, I suggest you do start recording them. It's quite cheap with your telephony provider. We analyze things like calls, spot opportunities in your business, things like that. Then the task agent, the hardest working agent in the whole bunch, basically does all the small things that help the other agent teams function. So they create documents, they create PDFs, they update CRMs, they send calendar invites, all the little admin things. And then we have powerful agents like computer use agents that can man a computer just like a human would, keyboard, mouse, understanding of the screen. So they can do more advanced things that usually don't have good integrations. The way that AIO works best is if it's either changing your revenue or capacity or customer experience. So we'll go through one by one. So Of course, if you're looking to add anything to your team and to your company, you want to make sure that it's going to give you some ROI. You don't want to just spend money and get nothing in return, which is why we focus on the same thing. We need to be aligned. We work in partnerships with our customers to make sure that the agents we deploy are bringing them more revenue. So these things can be anything from like prospect research and intelligence, sales engagement, inbound, outbound calls, instant response to a web form, to an email, whatever that may be, customer reactivation. If you have a database of 10,000, 20,000 people they've gathered over the years, you've talked to a year ago that just have been sitting there, you don't have time to reactivate them, is a great use of your time. I'll give you the first demo just to kind of understand what a voice demo sounds like. This is, let's play it and then we'll talk about it.
Hi, Amy here. Are you still interested in learning about property investing?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Great. Are you still available to attend an in-person training day at your convenience?
I would be. When would it be though? Just I've been so busy with work, so loads of other things have slipped at the moment.
I completely understand how busy life can get. We run events regularly throughout the year. Would you like to hear about our upcoming dates?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'll have our booking specialist contact you with the available dates. Before that, could I ask you a few quick questions about your goals?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. Are you currently involved in property investing or just getting started?
Just getting started.
Perfect. Everyone starts somewhere. What attracted you to property investing?
Well, I have a full-time job, but I'm sick of making investors money when I could be making my own money.
So you get the point. It's a 4-minute conversation, but the point of it is, first, let's just set the stage. This sounds very good. Obviously, this is an older demo from last year now. So we have much better demos now. They do the and all these different things to sound human, but that's not the point. I think I encourage you to think of AI not in terms of can it identically replicate what a human does? Can it get by lying to my customer and pretending it's me? That's not the point. The point is to do things in volume that you can never achieve, right? So the other interesting bit about having AI talk to your customers, potential customers, etc., you get so much data and so much information, and you analyze all of it. So for this example, we know that he's still interested. We know that he has a full-time job. You know he doesn't want to make investors money. You know he's quite busy at the moment. You get so much data that you can now analyze and understand your customer before you reach out to them again. And obviously, you can do this hundreds, thousands times a day. I'll go through something that we're doing this year for our company that I think is quite cool. We have another demo just to kind of show you. It's. I'm not going to play it, but it's to show you that we can be modular and multi-channel. So, for example, Alok over here called Garden Center with an issue about his plant, and the AI agent on the other side said, "Hey, can we jump on WhatsApp and you send me an image of your plant so I can diagnose it while we're on the phone? I can walk you through this." So imagine what this could be if you're, I don't know, let's say like a IT specialist or like a plumber or bike repairs or whatever. You can have the AI agent basically troubleshoot and work through with your customers while you're just doing your business. So it's quite powerful. Then we have capacity. I think capacity in general is something that's necessary for AIOS to make sense. If you have a database of 100, 200, 500 people, it's probably not worth it. If you're getting in, 5, 10, 20 calls a week or 5, 10, 20 leads a week, it's probably not worth it. You can absolutely do it if you want, if you have a high margin business, but capacity is where this makes the most sense, or high value products. So if it's like, Invisalign or high value coaching or whatever that may be. So in capacity, we have out of hour support, which is massive. If you have a phone line and you're not answering at lunch, you're not answering after work, then you're missing everyone because everybody else is at work while you're at work. They want to call you when they're not at work, right? Weekends, nights, mornings, things like that. If you're not available, they're going to call the next person. First line support, tech support, all these different things. Process automation as well. We work with a lot of companies. I'll give you an example later where they have these forms that take forever, or they have processes where thousands of people apply through the same channels and have to fill the same things. And instead of paying someone to review everything one by one, it could be automated like that. I'll give you an example of capacity. So we have a customer that does recruiting for a construction company, and they have a database of 30,000 people, and they can never call all of them at any one point. And so they don't know exactly who's available for the next job, basically. And we wanted to do a test, and we needed the goal was to book 66 people into a job next week. So we had their human team, which was 21 telemarketers and one supervisor working 9 to 5, because the cost increases exponentially after 9 to 5 or on weekends, and one manager. And it took them 84 hours, so 3.5 days of work to call 2,400 people, basically, was the sample size that they had to call. At the same time, our AI agent called on a Saturday morning, because it doesn't cost any more or any less to call on the weekends or at night. It's just a digital worker. It doesn't care. It's not watching Netflix at night. And it did it in 4.5 hours, right? And the cost difference is £2,400 in salaries, or £160. And the main difference is one, obviously you're paying 21 people. Two, you have to pay for, every time they dial a phone number. So they had to dial 2,380 calls. If every one of these dialed calls take a minute just to find the number, dial the number, wait for somebody to pick up, oh, nobody's picking up, update that nobody picked up. That's a few minutes for every single call. Where the AI agent only charges you once the call's connected. So if you're calling 2,400 calls, I think it was actually something like 400 calls that it ended up having. So you're only paying for the credits of those 100 or 400 calls that it connected. You're not paying for every time it dials, right? So that's a big benefit. This is cost of credits, and just FYI, because there's a cost of platform and other things, and we'll talk about that towards the end. I'll give you another example, a demo that we did for a clinic for after hours.
Good afternoon, you've reached hospital. This is Mila speaking. How can I help you today?
Hey Mila, my name's Alex and I just moved to the area and I'm looking for a new clinic.
Welcome to the area, Alex, and thank you for considering us. Is this your first time contacting hospital, or have you visited us before?
This is my first time since we just moved here.
You get the idea. But the interesting point is, we've actually built an agent this year, and we're running mystery shopping campaigns on national clinic networks. So clinic networks that have anything from 70 clinics to 600, 1,000 clinics. And what we found is, whenever people make calls just like this one, hey, I'm new to the area, hey, I'm interested in how much does Invisalign cost, and what's the process, and how long does it take, and do you have payment plans, and all these different things, two problems occur. Problem number one, which this is very much in line with experience. Problem number one, almost half of the calls don't go through, because either someone's not available, someone puts you on hold, the receptionist puts you on hold, never gets back to you, call gets hung up. Bad telephony systems and old telephony systems often hung up because they disconnect. Or let's say you finally got to someone and you're having a conversation with them. They don't know how much things cost. They can't tell you when the next appointment's scheduled, or what the financing is like, or anything like that. People there are just there to basically man the front desk. They're not salespeople. They don't know all this information. So it's insane the amount of money that these clinic chains and anyone that's not answering the phone is just missing out on. This is another example. I'm not going to go through it, but the idea is it can do quite complex language, medical language, and other things like that. And for this one, for example, once the AI calls you before you have your appointment, talks you through everything, has endless empathy and patience, right, with your patients. And then it creates a PDF, this is the task agent. It creates a PDF for the doctor the next morning, and he can look through it and say, okay, I know exactly what's going on with you. I know the update. Let's save some time. Let's get right into it and take care of your problems.
Hello.
This is another interesting one that I talked to you about earlier, about form automations and admin and things like that. So we work with British Gas for their energy trust to give energy credit grants for people in need. And they have this application process, as you can imagine. Most application processes for things like this, grants, etc., take forever. So theirs used to take 47 minutes. We built in an agent into their chat function on the website. So now all of a sudden you just have a normal conversation, right? Back and forth. Voice conversation can be text conversation for 8 minutes. In those 8 minutes, we ask everything we need to know, after which we basically map out all that, structure it the way that it needs to be put into your application, and fill it out. So instead of taking 48 minutes, you do an 8 minute call, which is, by the way, quite normal phone call length. I've been analyzing thousands of phone calls now. Usually 5 to 15 minutes is the average call with anyone. And then their application process obviously has increased exponentially since doing this. And I'll show you an example of how we use this. For example, we have Ava on our website. If you haven't done a call with her, go to implementai.io, click call me now. You put in your name, your phone number, email, company. She calls you immediately. So imagine if you have a lead coming from Meta, from your website, from wherever that may be, that person is looking for you right now. They have a leak in their house right now. They need home care for their parent right now, whatever that may be right now. So Ava calls you right away. And this is what goes on in the background. So Ava calls you, and for us, we built her to do a band qualification. So we're asking, what's your business? What's the size of your business? What are your problems? Are you the right person to make a decision on this? How fast are you looking to implement AI? And based on that, we take all that data and we route it. Either if you're a right candidate for right now, we can book an appointment. She books an appointment in my calendar immediately, sends you a follow-up email. If you're not the right fit for currently, then she just sends you the email. The email looks like this. So there's different tasks. First, the task agent generates the content and then generates a report based on the conversation you had. So it's going to send you a customized report in this email right here with, hey, look, John, we just talked. This is your company. This is what I think you need. This is why. Then it gives you a little message, which is like a cute little thing. Then it generates the video and the message, sends the email, sends the WhatsApp. So these are all tasks attached to the voice agent. This is the video.
Hi, Alex Morrison. I am Ava. It was great talking to you.
It's just a little thing, like a little fun thing. It doesn't have to happen. It can say anything. It's just, it can do a lot more things than you can imagine. This is our platform. So whenever you work with us, you get access to our platform. All of the agents live on this platform. So you have all the different teams. You have the CRM, which is, it's not a CRM like HubSpot. If you have HubSpot, Zendesk, whatever that may be, we integrate with over 600 systems. So we would integrate into your Outlook, your Gmail, your HubSpot, your Salesforce, whatever that may be. This CRM is the internal brain of our platform. So if you have a sales agent and a task agent and a support agent and an analyst agent, they're all sharing a brain so they understand your business, they understand your context. Here in the documents, you have your knowledge base. So for an agent to work and to sound like you, to sound like your business, to say the things that you wanted to, we need from you a knowledge base. A knowledge base is just a document that's formatted to tell us about the business, about the products, about things that it needs to know, the same way that you would train someone when they start working for you, things that it needs to know so it can have a good conversation or interaction. Then we have, normal things, home, users, activities, integrations, the usage, the credit usage, all these different things. We have blueprints, which are, if you want, you can build your own agents on the platform, of course. We have these blueprints, which are sort of pre-built agents that you only have to slightly customize if you want to launch. Then we have the academy if you need any help and things like that. I'll show you an example of what the internal CRM brain looks like. So for example, this is an activity timeline. So you see every time there was a chat, every time there was a call, whether it was inbound, outbound, whether it's in progress, it was canceled, it dropped, what problems it had, how long it was, when it was done. Then you have the capacity to change anything about these agents. Let's say a voice agent. What does it sound like? Male, female? What accent does it have? How fast does it speak? Does it speak first? Is there background noise? Does it pause? What does it do when XYZ? So there's a lot of input necessary from you at the beginning about scripting and about how it should sound and what it should say and all these different things. We build that with information from you. So in my opinion, this is different from every company. But what we've seen time and time again, working with the customers that we've had over the past 2.5, 3 years, there are a few agents that make sense for every business. A lot of people want to start with like a crazy complex agent, but the truth is to get the ROI, you probably need call analysis agent if you have calls, because there are missed opportunities there that you can reactivate and pay for years of our subscription. You need an out of hours response agent, whether that's voice or email or text, it doesn't matter. Someone to always be there whenever your customer has a question, a request, etc. A reactivation agent, if you have a list, reactivate them instead of paying marketing dollars to get new leads, work on the leads that you already have. And then maybe the fourth one, like a FAQ agent or an email agent or something like that. The fourth one is whatever you want. We did a case study with a 10 location clinic to show you why the call analyst is so important. We analyzed 3 months worth of their recorded calls. And within that, we found £573,000 worth of missed opportunities. What missed opportunities mean are times when, for example, somebody called and they were interested, but maybe you didn't have the right information. Maybe they said, hey, I want to be out of town for 2 weeks. Maybe they asked about something and your customer service representative didn't know. Maybe they sounded right. Maybe they had like the intonation that they wanted something, but the person on the phone didn't pick it up. So we analyzed all that, right? So we look, was there an appointment booked, treatment potential? What's the treatment concern? Was there a follow-up? Is it high priority? Who was it? What was it? And then you can analyze how your salesperson or your person on the phone did. What's the introductory score? Were they active listening? What's the etiquette? Closing score, objection scores, all these different things. So then you can put together a document. These 50 people would probably convert right now. Let me call them. Or even better, you can have the agent call and see, hey, I'm so-and-so agent from so-and-so company. I know you called a couple months ago, and I'm curious to see if you're still interested in the service. Like this can happen automatically, right? This is just a report that you get. So I'll go through the credit costs. Obviously, this is an important graphic because once you add digital workforce to your company, there starts to be a bigger difference between your revenue and your cost. Usually, your revenue grows with the cost. I have another salesperson, I increase revenue by X, but really my profit margin stays the same. Once you add the digital workforce, your revenue increases and your costs stay the same or maybe even tamper over time. So I said earlier that our agents do work with credits, right? So a phone call, for example, is 30 credits per minute. Credits are 1p per credit. So 30 p for 1 minute worth of connected conversation. Again, you have to calculate. It could take a human 200 made calls to get through to one person. So you have to account for that. Emails, text messages, things like that are anywhere between 2 and 5 credits, depending on how long, how much information, what type of information, images, things like that. Call analysis, we're actually going to change this, but if you see this, you're going to get this right. It's 50 credits per hour. We're going to increase it because there's a lot more work that's going into it. So again, we showed you some of the things that we got from customers that we're working with. If you work with us, if you feel this is a good opportunity, book a call with me. Happy to go through your business to understand it better and send you a proposal. Once we have a proposal, we understand if this is a good fit for you, we sign you on as a customer and you get passed to the solutions team. The solutions team is a team of engineers that liaison between your business and your needs and our development team that build the agent. So they make sure they understand exactly what you need. They build it in a way that can be engineered, and they get the engineering solution, come back to you, you test it, you configure it, and then you go live. After you go live with most plans, we continue optimization. So we build additional agents, we build more complex agents, and so on and so forth. And most customers go live between 4 to 6 weeks with their first agent. And it's important, I want to share actual pricing. It's important to understand that